Asteroid of fear.
Welcome to another episode of the Men of the House podcast, and it is Unfiltered Friday. So we're going to recap the week. Had a lot of thoughts today, recorded a lot of thoughts. Make sure I'm actually recording here. For everyone on the visual. Yeah, so today was my day to take the kiddo to school, and they have testing this week, which is always fun. I think they had it last week, like a Tuesday, Thursday, this week, a Tuesday, Thursday. So it's always interesting. You want them to wake up on the right side of the bed, per se, make sure they get a good breakfast. And this morning, I told her last week she actually asked me, I think we ended up at Dutch Bros, so she could grab a small iced strawberry lemonade. And then we went ahead this morning. I told her yesterday, kind of in that effort to prepare her mind. I said she was doing the ice bucket challenge. I guess some of her friends challenged her to do it. So yours truly got to dump the bucket of water on her as it was being recorded. But I went ahead and primed her mind and said, hey, if you want Dutch Bros in the morning, then, after this challenge, let's get that shower. Make sure we, you know, hit all your wind down markers, and at this time we need to be in bed, and set your alarm and plan on it. Plan on being speedier than normal, because we have to go a different route. Takes a little bit longer, but yeah, it made her happy. She wasn't initially in the most talkative mood this morning. Tried making that connection, and it just wasn't happening. So I went back to the Sean Ryan show, which was a good episode, by the way. And as I was listening to that, just say a little prayer. Hey, hope she does okay in school today. She's good, comfortable, doesn't feel overwhelmed, and she's loved no matter what, regardless of the test. Um, and then eventually, I think maybe she watched something funny on her phone, or I don't know what it was, but she ended up becoming more talkative. I just said something about her phone. She left her phone with me, and I left it on the nightstand, and I do not know if my wife grabbed it, because they have like a skating party this evening. So, yeah. Hmm. That's why you heard the pause, or saw the pause. Maybe saw a little thought bubble cloud above my head. But yeah, she woke up a little, which made me happy. So it's always nice to engage with your child. And um, because the Sean Ryan show I was listening to, the most recent episode, I believe it was talking. It was a pastor from Arkansas, competed on American Ninja Warrior. Um, but yeah, he was just talking about spiritual warfare. And, there's things that are obvious, of course, things that are, could be thrown in your face, I think, as a man. You know, if you're married like myself, some woman throwing themselves at you, uh, trying to get you to be an infidel, not that kind, you know, infidelity. Um, yeah, so there's those obvious ones, but then there's, not so obvious ones. How about you work all the time? Maybe it's a personality flaw. Maybe it's a superpower. Um, but the same medicine you give one person can kill one and cure the other. So that superpower, while it might be working wonders to provide for your family, meanwhile, you're never there. So you don't know what your kids are doing. You're not engaging with them. You're not, they're spending all their time on the internet, watching TV, being influenced by everyone else but you because you're never there. So, yeah, they were talking about that, which was perfect first thing in the morning because that's exactly, it was my day to take her and so my day to have a conversation. I have those nothing AirPod things that I wear, but it's like if she's talking, we pause. If she doesn't want to talk, I listen to a podcast and, you know, it goes through little spurts, different times, but definitely if I can talk to her and she wants to talk, I would rather do that. 100%. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a perfect way to start the day. And then I moseyed on over to the park for a walk, get some cardio in. And, I jogged a couple of days this week. And so, man, the hips, the joints, everything feels it. Scratch my back here. Australopithecus. Yeah, I felt every day of 48, everything hurt. Very low impact cardio day, but it was a nice day. Walked through the park, everything's green. Uh, see a lot of the same people. I did notice one person wasn't there. One gentleman we normally see. Um, maybe we'll see him the next time. I don't know quite his routine, but he's usually there, so you never know. But things happen, and um, we'll just see. Yeah, I'll have to be on the lookout. Because that was kind of one of the thoughts I had at 48. And I'm at that age where I've had friends who've had cancer. I want to say have friends who might get cancer further down the road. There's always a chance. Who knows? Um, but you're at that age where, yeah, you're taking those kinds of tests. You're getting colonoscopies. You're doing, yeah, yeah. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it should be that way. I don't feel like I should be that old that I'm in that category. And I feel relatively healthy. And I mean, that's why I'm out there exercising. At 48, it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I can definitely improve my body 100% and intend to 100%. But, that's not the main goal. I'm not 20 years old, single, living at the beach and want to look better naked. Of course, that's always a goal. However, I'm I want to live a long time and I want to be mobile. If you fall, you want to be able to recover. You'd like to be able not to fall. You'd like to have good balance, not fall. Um, so yeah, longevity is important. That's why I did the Cologuard. I have friends that are in the categories of getting screenings, and other people who are um, might have had cancer and now they're in remission. So yeah, at this age, those are the things you got to be thinking about. Aesthetics, yes, always better, will be a byproduct, but you know, try to get out there and get some exercise, especially if you sit a lot. I can't remember what I read an article the other day. What they were trying to say what the perfect amount was. I think it was something like I don't know, for every what was it? Every 20 minutes of sitting, you do 5 minutes of walking, something like that. Be 15 minutes every hour. Yeah, it's about an hour walk a day. If you work a normal job, get some steps in between. I mean, I usually do an hour, sometimes more, sometimes I do two. Right now with Whoop, I'm currently doing some sort of challenge where I'm trying to average about 15,000 steps a day, and I hit it every day but one, or more. So, yeah, if I can get more. But usually a couple of walks a day. I definitely try to get a walk in the morning. Um, if I'm warming up to do cardio, I'll do 15 minutes of cardio, lift, and then sometimes do maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Just depends how the sun is. What do I have to do today? How pressed am I for time? And then a lot of times I'll come home, work, podcast stuff, coaching, etc., etc., and maybe I'll get dinner started, and then I'll go for like an afternoon walk. There's like this hour of limbo, kind of when normal people get off, I guess, at 5, because I would set myself up almost like a normal work day, and maybe while my wife and daughter are driving home, I'll go for a walk, and that way, kind of like by the time they're getting home, I'm kind of done with the walk, and I got a second walk in, get a chance to kind of decompress, separate myself, maybe listen to a book or listen to a podcast. Um, like the other day, I think I had like I took like some sirloin, and my wife had bought some it's like some turkey Italian sausage to make like kind of like those Bisquick ball. You put like Bisquick breakfast sausage and cheese, but there was like this recipe for like use that Red Lobster biscuit mix, and then but she'd got an Italian sausage. She knows I like it leaner, although that's not lean at all things considered. But you got some fat and protein, cheese. It's just the Bisquick, the carbs. I guess if you could probably do some almond flour, keto it up a bit if you wanted, or just how do I want to phrase this? Exercise some self-restraint. Maybe have a portion size. It's good to you get like the little silver cookie scoopers. Hey, those double as take a little scoop of I don't even know what I was just thinking of. Oh, you can make mini meatballs. Yeah, weigh out your meatballs. That was the whole thing. Weigh it out so you know. When you make those balls, so you have an idea. It's important to measure. If you don't know how much you need, you don't know how much you're putting in, then it's like driving blind, literally. Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's not as difficult as you think. Figure out the calories, download my Fitness Pal. They got a free version, you can get a paid version. There's other apps out there that people can attest to. But me, average Joe, 48-year-old dad, been using my Fitness Pal for years. Um, Familiar with it. Pretty easy to use. Uh, get you a coach, somebody who can calculate your macros. There's plenty of people online who'll do it for you. I've had people do it for me for free. Trustworthy sources. Um, Part of a fitness accountability group. There's coaches in there, people, you know, who know about that stuff. So there's somebody out there who can help you figure it out. And once you know, then you can go up, down. You want to gain, eat more than. You want to lose, you got to be in a deficit. But the first thing you got to know is where you're at, what's required, so you know what an actual deficit is. And if you're not measuring your food and you don't know what a portion size looks like, you don't know what 2 ounces of rice looks like, you have no idea. You'll never know what a deficit is. Hey guys, quick break, but this one's important. If you're tired of setting goals that never leave the Notes app, or you're feeling stuck in the same cycle, let's change that. Accountability isn't about pressure, it's about partnership. I offer one on one accountability coaching for those who are ready to show up, not just for their goals, but for themselves, their families, and their purpose. Whether you're working on discipline, building better habits, or simply trying to stay consistent, I got you. No fluff, no judgment, just real conversations and real progress. If that sounds like something you need, hit the link in the show notes and let's connect. All right, back to the episode. It's not that complicated. It really isn't. If you have the right person to explain it to you. And if you get in the habit of doing it, that's the key. Um, my fitness pal, any of these things, it can be intimidating at first, but you know, the key is like anything. I'm average at math at best. Okay. Um, and I took trigonometry in college, and Mr. Talebi was my trig teacher. And he said, what did he say? One time, because my daughter had math today, and I'd given her these sour candies. She goes, "Did you pack my lunch on Tuesday?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "You put in those sour candies." I got these sour candies near the casino at this Rocket Fizz. They're like as seen on TV, $9 a bag, super sour. And I gave them to her. So, um, because I'd eaten all I could. And she was, at school, people she's sitting at the table with, let's try some sour candy. And so, yeah, so we got on the sour, and she has math, and she's not as comfortable at math. And, I told her, hey, he told me, you know, that math is just like that candy. It starts off a little sour, but, it gets sweet. Uh, and she sometimes, she gave me the when dads make dad joke face. Ridiculous. But yeah, it was the best. Special moment there. But the key is what I told her, you use it every day. It's like a language. You don't you don't memorize a language. You learn it. You don't memorize your mom's name. You learn it because you use it a lot. You will if you use it every day, you do it every day, you will get used to it and it won't seem so foreign no matter what it is. But math is the perfect example. For me, I have to use it every day. There are people who don't. There are people who are math geniuses and, think in numbers. And, yeah, we need people like that. I'm not one of them. Unfortunately, sometimes maybe I wish I was, but, you know, they can seem mentally unstable at times. They have their own problems. Trust me. So, yeah, candy, math, Satan attacking man by keeping him away, connection. That was a lot. That was all by like 7 a.m. Or no, 8 a.m. Yeah. Then the park. So, yeah, the park brings me to another topic. I'm walking. I've mentioned this before, and I spot a guy 2 blocks down coming towards the park with his dog on a leash, and then Mr. Unaware drinking his latte. that he probably just bought somewhere with his dog off the leash, no care in the world, and of course his dog off the leash, run straight to dog on the leash, and Folio with his latte had to go chasing after him, and at least they were friendly dogs, and yeah, maybe they shared a bro moment. No, the other dude was more broish, and the other guy was mm, unaware. Yeah, it's the best way of putting it. Don't be those people. Don't be unaware. If you cannot control your dog, you're in a public place. Sipping your latte. Dogs are dogs. They're curious. They see another dog, they're going towards the other dog. Do you want to run with hot coffee? Probably not. Probably not the best idea. So, don't be that person. Don't be irresponsible. That can help your longevity in other ways. Because we talked about the park, walking, longevity, Unfiltered Friday. Yeah. Somewhere in here too, I'm walking around the park and I see this, and I see people in the turning lane. Because I made this note here that yet a person, they're turning left with the arrow, and it's somebody's kind of on the yellow towards the end, getting towards the red, and it upholds the people going forward. And normally people see this person, and you can't really go because otherwise you'll hit them, whether the light's green or not. I mean, a car's turning in front of you, you wouldn't hit it unless this person didn't hit it, but their their car behavior was very notable in that it's like you see this happening, but it's like you choose to kind of pull out enough to taunt and lay on the horn, like you want to intentionally T-bone somebody. And they were in kind of a bigger truck, which already tells me other stuff too. Unless you drive a big truck for utility. I mean, there are reasons to have a big truck. You live certain places, places where it floods. Yeah. Cowboy, you pull trailers, big truck, useful. If you're a concrete cowboy, just want to lay on the horn at a Dodge Neon who's running a red light to show your masculinity. Yeah, because I wrote down toxic masculinity down here somewhere. And yeah, could see a lot. Get a just walking around the park, and there's always some cops that patrol, and will pull over some of these people who disobey the law and aren't in the right of way. But yeah, it's like just let the person go. They're already committed. Don't commit them to an accident. Don't commit yourself to an accident. That would just be dumb unless you like to attract attention or you like to file false claims. There are people who do that. Scams are at an all-time high. Be on the lookout. A lot of this is about awareness. Just being aware no matter where you go. Somebody said something the other day. He said something. I don't know where it was. It was something about X Games, and I was like, "Ooh, what about the Gen X Games? Man, that would be like an orthopedist dream. Nothing but Gen X people out there. Although there are like, let's say you watch The Challenge. My wife and I love to watch MTV's The Challenge, and there's a lot of fit Gen Xers. There's some people who hold up, but in general, it takes longer to recover. You know, my wife saw my toe from February 22nd where I hit it. It's like still jacked. It's like I'm telling you, man. It just, I mean, it's fine. Just aesthetically, it looks terrible. You know, has that blood blister look under the nail. They never go away. Yeah, I could be distasteful and mm, I won't. But yeah, kind of another. What else did we do this week? Because much of that was today. Oh, my wife and I did actually. Our my mom's washing machine went out, so we thankfully, there you go, reason to show gratitude. Grateful we have a washer, an additional one in our storage unit. So we went and we have a van, so we were able to load that up. Now it's raining currently, so we won't be able to get it out until my cousin's here because, yeah, there's skating parties, it's raining, and my mom loves to wash, so she cannot be without a washer. And they wanted something like $400 to make a house call to come out and fix it. So, yeah, grateful. It's nice to have. We have a dryer too. Hopefully it doesn't go out. But yeah, we also did some target practice. My cousin works half days, and you know, I have a pistol, and I haven't really shot it um, because it was my father's, and he doesn't need a gun, so I haven't shot it. Make sure it worked. So yesterday we shot it, and he had a gun, like a pretty cool little gun with a suppressor thing, and you know, bought it at a gun shop, and we just had like a Bass Pro Shop open, so I went there and bought some things, and um, fairly certain it's all legal. Bass Pro Shop, surely on the up and up. But yeah, we shot, and I hadn't shot in a while, and I was kind of exploring this idea of eye dominance. Um, Anybody out there who shoots, I'm no expert shooter. I shot like a 45 with a 22 barrel insert in Navy boot camp. Now, I grew up shooting guns, and I always shot kind of one way, but there was this thing of eye dominance saying, like, kind of what eye do you go naturally to? And, like, for me, it's my left eye. And so maybe the way it was explained was if I was left eye dominant, even though I'm right handed, maybe I should try shooting left handed. And so that was kind of one of the ideas I explored. Um, if that's a thing, I'm sure there's plenty of firearm enthusiasts who would know and love to correct me. Go ahead. I'm certain I need to take a course, but because I wouldn't mind taking one with my wife. Like, I want her to take one as well to be able to carry. So, as we do travel, but I'm familiar with one. But I would like to be. more than familiar, if that makes sense. I would like to be proficient, competent. Yes, competent. So that usually requires training and or coaching. So at some point, yeah, I need to look into that. Maybe over the summer. We'll see. Since that's when we do our traveling and be nice weather, depending on where the courses are offered. Although, I'm pretty sure there's courses you can take that are indoor and nice and all that, um, and offer the certifications. But I don't know how much they know about mechanics or whatever you call it. I don't know what they call it. Would it be biomechanics? Um, how you shoot? Yeah, that's it for the week. It's been a long one. We've gotten a few things accomplished. We're heading in a direction, getting on track. Um, I've got my official first three participants of the accountability coaching I'm going to offer. And so once I am done doing trials with them, I will then offer some paid services. And yeah, I'm excited to work with them, excited to assist them in their goals, and look forward to developing a coaching style. And I appreciate them allowing me to do so. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. That was the goal, which is good because it picks up the pace with other stuff. Now I got to get more podcasts going. Yeah. So, got to speed up the pace. We're picking up momentum here, which is exactly what I wanted as we go into summer. I'm ready to pick up momentum. I tend to do better with the more momentum or the more things I have going. And I've sifted through a lot of messages, revamped a lot of things, and it's about time to open the floodgates and just start drinking from the fire hydrant. There's no other way. Sink or swim. When it's cold like that, you know, you can just ease into it or just jump in and get it over with like a cold plunge. Although I don't do that. Anywho, all right. Till next week, when you're out there in the world, I mentioned a lot of people who not to be. Don't be unaware. Yeah. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be an a hole. Lay on your horn. Give people some grace. You might need some someday. Speaking of grace, be grateful. I'm grateful we had a spare washing machine. And hopefully, God graces you with something you need as well. It's there when you need it, and that's what counts. But remember, when you're out there, go out and be the person that you want to meet. And be on the lookout for those suspicious people that you don't want to meet. Stay far away from them.
Asteroid of fear.